Yeah.
So that's...
Well, it's funny because most of my family's in publishing. They were always, in newspaper publishing. That's what my father did, and
yeah.
his father and his uncles, and it's in the family. Billy and Ben Franklins that are in our family too. So.
Who's that guy that invented the telephone? His
Bell.
Yeah, he reminded me of his great granddaughter or whatever lives here in Santa Fe.
Okay.
Yeah, she's really funny. She's a therapist. I went to her once.
Did you help her?
No, I think so. I think we helped each other.
Barb, did you seduce your therapist?
No, I tried. In that case, I did not. I probably tried, but no,
Well, now, okay. So to get on point here, this is the long saga of the thyroid nodule dissolution. We've got a thyroid nodule to dissolve, and as you were saying last time we filmed a week ago, if you went to a regular doctor, you would really not know that there was still a problem.
No, I wouldn't know except for the blood test, And I think even that's normal now. It's just one time they found it, and so they know it's there.
But you have a specialist.
Yeah.
And you get ultrasound.
Yes.
And so he can see the nodule, and he can tell you what it's doing. That half your thyroid is doing all the work.
Right.
Right. Which is so that means you're still sick. You still need to dissolve it, and this is a very good thing for us to know. And it's really good that you have this. See, and this is another thing. It illustrates that doctors are useful.
Sure.
You know? And I'll tell you, like, last night we were having this meeting, we were having our cure meeting, and there was a guy in the cure meeting, we were all telling somebody, telling a person her strengths and weaknesses and what her symptoms are and what her accomplishments are and so on. And he was saying that we're like a brain trust. Like Napoleon Hill used to talk about the brain trust.
Okay.
That, Barb has something I don't have, you have something Barb doesn't have, I've got something you don't have, and so on. We're a brain trust, see? And that then you have this master mind that can really create something important. And, if you have a good doctor around, you have that.
Right.
And
it's a way to track the progress and the cure.
For one thing, yeah. So there's a contribution to this master mind that you've created, to cure this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
now,
go ahead.
I'm thinking of doing a water fast. I would like to do a water fast. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to make that happen.
Well, this is a good thing because you could you could dissolve the thyroid nodule that way. Now, before you do that, see, there's lots of things. There's lots of kinds of fasts. For example, Franny had a yeast infection, and I had this Korean daikon, the kind that has a green at the end. It's the end of it is green.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
It's stronger than regular daikon. Okay.
Okay.
So it's more of cooking daikon, I would say.
Okay.
And I steamed it and fed it to her, and it decreased the thing by half. In an hour or two.
Oh, that's cool.
And then she went to sleep, and she continued to heal. And see, the thing is that so there might be a substance to fast on or include in your fast. For example, I was doing a water fast, and I used coconut water for a couple of my drinks. And coconut water really changed me. I mean, I became not thirsty for hours. You know, and I rested really good. So the thing to do is to test this thoroughly. We don't have to do this on this call, but this is a good thing for the fast weight loss diet because, you know, thyroid nodules weigh something, you know.
Well, you know, I always get a yes when I test with the water fast help dissolve the thyroid nodule, but I don't always take, you know, the advice I'm getting.
Sure, right.
Because I have a pretty demanding life right now, and I know that like the first few days will be tough, so I have to set it up so I won't have a lot of responsibilities like driving around and stuff. So
yeah, well,
to get through, you know, the first few days of the water fast.
You're not really pressed to do a water fast or to dissolve the thyroid nodule because you don't have any symptoms and you have no discomfort, and so you're okay, you know, so you can...
Yeah.
So you can...
I can take my time, but I just want it to be gone completely, and I feel like this is something that will do it.
Well, this is why I like you. You know, you have goals, you know, you have standards and goals, and that for yourself and your health, you know, and that's important. And see, in order for people to, you know, there's a lot of people who want to lose weight, but they don't really have standards for their lives or themselves. Like, or they don't have standards for how they feel. Like, you and I don't like to feel bad, and Barb is like that too. Like Barb, you know, you don't tolerate feeling bad, right?
I don't like feeling bad. Not for a moment.
So when
I realize that I'm addicted to safety and feeling good.
Very good, Barb. I think that's excellent thing. Excellent addictions.
I want to be safe.
I've also noticed that people that haven't experienced feeling good, and they're out there, trust me, they don't have that standard because they don't know what it's like.
That's totally true. I used to think about that, like with regard to being, you know, physically fit. A lot of people have never experienced it, so they really don't know what that's like.
Well, also, you see, for a lot of people, the things that make people feel bad did not come from this life, even. Like you know, most people think maybe they came from their childhood, but they didn't. They came from another life, or just another existence that wasn't even a lifetime. It was just like they were a plant or something, and they picked up this thing that they've been carrying, and they have never, through eons, have ever felt what we call feeling good. You know, but it's obviously they have something that they call feeling good, and if I mean, people say I drink because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Or whatever, you know. That's what they associate. I eat candy because it makes me feel good. That's what they think about feeling good.
I tested this morning that I must have had some lifetime either as a plant or a small organism where I was in a box, like I was just stuck in a box or some kind of closed space.
Well, I want you to
recreate that now over and over.
I want you to test, Barb. Is that an impairment?
Yes.
You test it's an impairment?
Yeah.
Okay. The way to do this is to find the dimension the impairment is on. So test, is it over...
No, I was thinking I should call Keely, she's so good at this.
Is it over the 27th dimension?
Well, it's funny because I think my home dimension is the 27th lately, so it might be something above that, yeah.
Okay, is it above the 42nd?
When it happened, you mean?
No, I mean you have to locate the dimension the impairment.
That's up higher. I think it's in the 80s.
Okay, test what dimension?
That's 80s, 81 or 2.
Okay. Just say I'm now on the 81st dimension.
I'm on the 81st dimension. Okay.
And see if you can feel the impairment.
I just keep feeling boxed in.
Can you feel it? Or you, so say it again. Just say I'm on the 81st dimension or the 82nd
dimension. Feels like, you know, I feel like that being John Malkovich, like I want to hunch over, like I'm being, I have to, like I'm in a box. It's too, like I'm too big for my container.
Okay, I'm now removing this impairment. Just say I'm now removing this impairment.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I'm removing the impairment. Okay.
And get it when you get a signal. See if you get a signal.
Well, my neck is stretching out, and I got a signal, yeah.
Now, what did you just say? Your neck is what?
It feels more like upright, more stretched out.
Okay. Have I removed the impairment? Test. And Jen, test with her. Has she removed it?
I don't get a really strong signal, but...
Hang in there. Just continue feeling.
No, I just got a signal. I got that image of a little plant coming through the cracks of like a cement sidewalk.
I have to tell you this story, which I told you last night. Meredith called me and she said she was in a half sleep. This is a friend of ours that you haven't met, Jen, Meredith Nesbitt, who lives in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, and is a registered nurse, third grade school teacher, and has a PhD in music. She likes studying things. Anyway, she said that she was in this sort of half sleep state, and she removed cancer. She found cancer and removed it, and she said she felt it leave. Like it was this very profound experience. Now, did you have something like that just now, Barb, when you did the impairment? Did you feel it go?
It was kind of like a gradual opening. I wouldn't say like a profound wow, but more like a shell being cracked open.
Am I different? Just test.
Yeah, I felt different when I woke up this morning, so I might have started it early.
Well, that's often the case when we remove something. The removal is an expression of something that's already been going on.
Yeah, like I sort of thought about it. I kept working on it.
You're making a monkey face.
Yeah.
Do you get claustrophobic?
No, but it's funny. I watched this movie about Mayor Baba once, and it said that for one time in India, for some reason, he didn't really explain it, but he told his disciples to leave him alone, and he went into this like box, like almost like a, you know, it's like he put himself in a box. And everybody was asking him why, and he said, "Oh, I'll explain it later," or something. And then, you know, when I was 17 and I had that back surgery, I was basically in a cage, like I was in a box.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like in a box, and it's been kind of like a theme for me to feel boxed in or trapped. But I don't really feel close. I tend to be. I need like a lot of space. Like this place here, for example, as you can see, is very wide open. Studio. I like this kind of place, but I live in a small place now. But and that's kind of why I like Santa Fe. It feels so open. But, but yeah, I have a tendency to feel that, and it's kind of ironic that I manifested being, you know, kind of trapped up in that situation for so many years. So it does seem like a theme of some kind. But yeah, I feel better now. I let go of something last night and this morning. I don't know what it is.
Just say, "Did I cure it?" and see if you get a signal on that.
Yes, I cured it. I cured it. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. Today we'll do something for you. Jen, go to the accelerator. I'm saying to Jen, go to the accelerator.
Okay. Oh no, not the accelerator.
Oh, the accelerator. Let's see.
And what I want you to do is go through the accelerator questions with Barb.
Oh no.
Aren't those fun?
They're too deep.
I always ask, should I do an accelerator? Hoping I'll get a no. If that doesn't happen. Okay.
It makes you have to claim.
About how often do you get something back that says, yes, you should do an accelerator?
Oh, like almost every time.
Okay.
I get that a lot.
I was hoping that we'd work on something more advanced with Jen so we can get onto the site again. That was pretty fun last time.
Well, we're on the site now doing the accelerator, and we are doing something more advanced. And Jen is doing it with you. She's consolidating, curing an impairment, which is very advanced.
Okay, we'll do the short one.
I mean, well, that's the only one you should ever do when you're doing a movie. You know,
okay.
You're supposed to do the long one to like learn about it, but the short one's the one you're supposed to do. Okay. And then, because you've learned about it, you know what the things mean, and you know the ramifications of what you're doing. That's what the long one's for. The short one's for doing it. So, see what you're doing here. Like you just cured an 82nd dimensional impairment. Right? Sounds like?
Testing says, yes.
Now, if you just leave that drift, it probably won't make as huge a difference as it could. But maybe, like test this question, am I now more capable of entering a permanent relationship with someone and having a partner?
Oh, well now you're talking about something relevant. Yes.
Now, the thing, I had an idea when you cured this thing, that, because I've seen you, like, you get into these relationships, I've watched you for 25 years, Barb, and then you get a girlfriend and you panic. You
yeah,
just,
it's
like,
true. I feel trapped.
Like, why are you with me? What are you doing here? Get away from me! So, I suggest that you really take this seriously, because you may have hit a major cofactor in this behavior that you do with significant others.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jen, with that, take it away.
Okay. So.
Maybe saving me from domestic abuse and future divorce. Okay, I'll pay attention. Go ahead.
Okay, so what do you feel the difference now that you remove that?
I actually literally feel like my spine is less compressed and I feel more elongate, straight up, and less pain in my back. And
I noticed when we started, before we even got on this, like when we said hello, you kept doing this stretching thing with your neck.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like, I have to do that a lot. Yeah.
Okay. So, what's gone now? What can you say about?
What's gone? Well, the experience of like being in some kind of a box is just less real, and that pain is gone. Pain in my neck is gone, and my upper back.
Okay.
Yikes.
So a physical pain is a physical
Okay,
pain.
so but before when you thought about the boxed in feeling, was it uncomfortable? Did you?
Yeah, it was almost like it brought on almost like a panic or just well, before we did the access the impairment, I actually had an experience that the original experience did occur when I was not a human. I was like a plant or an animal or like an organism, like a smaller cell organism that was contained somehow. That's like somehow traumatized me, and I kept repeating it. But what was your question again? What did it feel like?
Well, when you thought about that, was it unpleasant? Was it you said that you felt a little panic?
I actually kind of accepted it. Like I was crying this morning. Like I just felt like, oh well, that's the way life is. That's the way this is. Yeah.
Now, do you feel that now when you think about it?
Well, I feel like there's more possibility for having, different experience. Like I kind of accepted, for example, like what he was saying, like, maybe this will be a lifetime where I won't really have an everyday kind of partner, certain things I just, whatever, won't experience.
And
So
you were accepting that?
I resigned. Now I feel a little more, like willing to cross the line and whatever, just have more possibilities.
So that would be like old and new responses. How would that relate to old and new responses or behaviors?
Well, like in the idea of having a relationship, sometimes I think, well, I always have the same conclusion now. Like even when I start getting close to someone, after a while, I'll say to myself, oh well, this is just going to turn out like all the other ones, so I better kind of cut it off here, just accept it as it is now, don't go any further. Where now that I've cleared that, I feel, well, maybe, shouldn't limit things. But just more willing to, keep moving forward.
So this would be the new behaviors, a willingness to move forward.
Yeah, just like a willingness to not give up or not just resign myself to as it is now. That's as good as it's going to get, thinking that that's as good as it's going to get.
Okay, and so what have you moved away from?
Adopting behaviors that are consistent with the prior belief.
Right.
Like when I thought I was in a box, I behaved like I was in a box, and I made choices that, made the box more comfortable.
Well, also, see, what I noticed about you is when somebody showed up physically in your space, like when they weren't like long distance, you'd be in love with them when they were like living on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But when they showed up in your space, suddenly
your box.
You were like in a box.
Where's my box?
You were like in this.
There's not enough room in here.
That's right. You were in this very uncomfortable, and you would just like bolt. So maybe we got something here. We may have actually hit something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think part of that is like it was like damage control. Like I would think, well, it's more dangerous, and like if something should go wrong inside the box, I would get creamed because I'm so small and defenseless. Where if I was farther away, I could find out what was going to happen. What volatility there was, so that it would happen. Where I would be safe or something. Like part of the box thing is it's also protection. Like even when I had that brace on, I felt protected, kind of. And then when I got it off, I felt vulnerable.
And now that you took the box off, are you still feeling that way, or is it good?
It's almost like being like a overweight person who lost like a bunch of like 200 pounds fast. Like I feel slightly just vulnerable. I feel all right. I feel like ready to move forward.
And what can you move towards?
I'm trying to maybe just be more open-hearted about things, less protected. Having less of an agenda. Just trying. Like I read yesterday, basically if I should just focus on having other people be happy rather than trying to get happy myself or whatever. That kind of thing gives me more of a purpose. Like even in any interaction or small interaction, just focus on how I can have the other person walk away feeling happy. So, rather than trying to, like the box thing caused me to have my life be about how to protect that or get back to that, or, you know, adventure out, but how do you get back in, you know? Everything was like scary out in the world, or, you know, without the protection. So.
Okay. Okay, I think you've answered a lot of these. So what are you no longer attached about having or being?
Well, let's see. I'm a little less attached to having control of my, let's see. Just being, I don't know, let's see, being free maybe? Less attached to being free. I feel more free. So I think a lot of that is one.
Does this, do you think this will have an effect on more than just your relationships? This getting out of the box?
Yeah, because actually I sometimes would get that feeling when I'm working on a project or something just by myself. That it's kind of like an anxious feeling, or I feel trapped, or like I'm not going to be. I actually have a project here that I'm working on in this office here that's been dragging on, and sometimes I just can't. I mean, I feel like trapped by that, or like I can't. I'm missing something while I'm doing that, you know. Like I don't commit to things because I don't want to be committed, you know.
Yeah.
So I end up
scared of that box, baby. Scared of that box. If you feel like you're in one, you're scared of them.
Yeah.
This is good. This is very good because, you know, people like blunder into these things, but they actually never cure them. And you have to realize that, see, now that you've cured this thing, these habits and, you know, adaptive responses that you've developed around this, they can disappear. If you like, it's much easier for them to for you to disappear them now.
Well, it'd be nice.
Oh, and Jen, you were saying that, you know, before that she already answered some of the questions. The thing is that sometimes it helps to answer the same question a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, that's true.
And then other times you're just done with the question, you know, but I'm just saying, you know, that no bashfulness about grill the person.
I think that's the whole idea of the accelerator, just like to repeat it over and over.
Okay. So what kind of new possibilities can you get out of releasing that tendency?
Just be more relaxed during the day, I guess, more limitless, you know, about what I say, you know, yes and no to, and just how long I last during the day or with people, less structured. You know, less needing control of, you know, the outcomes all the time. I don't know, like I kind of feel sad, like something's gone, so that's probably good, but just like actually I have less, I don't know, I feel like I have less, I just feel more content, you know, like with whatever's going on right now.
Okay. And how are you more responsible?
Well, I just feel like I have, you know, no place to go, so I'm more able to respond to, like, the situation at hand, or just, you know, like I'm not thinking about the future or trying to find, you know, wonder where I'm going to be safe next. You know, I feel all right now. So, like, I'm not Like a lot of times I've had in the past the experience of wanting everything to be over with. Like even life, I want it to be over with. When's this going to be over with? You know, like everything's like uncomfortable, or I'm in pain, I just want it to be over with. Or when's this day going to be over with, or this interaction's going to be over with, you know, and I don't feel that right now. Like I'm just, like a lot of times I was just bracing myself to like power through something. I wasn't really enjoying my, you know, the moment. Doesn't really happen with you guys, but lots of times. You know, sometimes it does, but yeah, I've had that experience a lot, or that actually those words will go through my mind, like, I want this to be over with, you know, like.
I know what you mean.
Really? I used to think that maybe.
When this is over with, then I'll be.
Yeah. Yeah. I could just get past this. Right. I just get through this. So. Yeah. Sad but true.
Well, how are you now? Sad. Are you happy but true now, or?
Yeah, I feel happy. It feels like I always think happiness doesn't last, but that does. Although I'm sitting around here, and you know, these are my best friends here. And I realized, like the other day, was kind of, they were coming in, and I was kind of like gathering up my stuff and going out. And Nancy's like, "Don't leave. We like having you here." And it was like funny because it's like I don't think that. I just assume that I don't belong, or I don't, like I'm sort of have to scurry around the edges, and where the things are, temporary. Where this, like for example, this location here for me really works, and it just keeps getting better. It's like more like a home base place.
So what behaviors, like what new behaviors now seem like? I mean, what new responses, seem easy and good responses? Just like when somebody says, "Hey, why don't you stick around? We like having you." What is there a good response there that seems easier?
Yeah, I think it's easier to say yes, or easier to enjoy giving people what they want. Giving myself to others. Knowing that, like seeing the other side of things. That actually maybe there's. Some value, like that's another thing, that's sort of like a trauma or like an impairment, thinking that I don't belong anywhere, or that I'm not, or that I'm in the way. Where actually a lot of times it's the opposite. So, yeah, just to like serve more, or just make myself available to people. It's kind of like finding the balance, because I think I did that too much, and then I did too little, and now I just got to find the middle ground. Like I gave myself too much, and then I was resentful, and then I took myself away, too extremely, and that hurt myself and a lot of my relationships. So now I'm kind of finding the balance.
Good. Hey Jen, do you see something on the accelerator about new behaviors?
It says compare old and new behaviors, or new easy behaviors you can move towards.
I'll tell you even now, it's like a little micro choice. Like even now, like I'm starting to settle into feeling good with you here. Like so then I get that. Then that little panic comes in. Like, oh, it's gonna be over soon. I get too attached to feeling good because it'll just be gone.
You mean like in 5 minutes? Because that's what we've got. 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I know.
I just have to say though that creating this structure of like doing 45-minute filmings and getting off has been great for me. It has changed my life. And I changed the Cure Team meeting because of it, and I end on time at the Cure Team meeting. And you know, I feel so different when I'm actually doing the work, because I know I have this much time and I've got to accomplish something, and I feel great about what we've... these movies have been way better since we've been doing this. They're just not those long, rambling, aimless things that we used to do, that we didn't quite know what we were driving at. You got to know when you've got 45 minutes. You have to know what you're trying to do. And we found it and did it. You know, I keep saying to you, Barb, that I want to help you. And I helped you today. I succeeded. I accomplished something today, you know. And I can take this into the rest of my day and feel good about myself. You know, if nothing else comes of this day, I have done something that I have been wanting to do for a long time.
Good.
I mean, a very long time.
Yeah.
And I have to thank you, because I wasn't on the hot seat.
I have this Facebook friend who's like a strong Christian guy, and I was looking at his page the other day, and he had this movie. It was off that TED Talks thing. Some priest or some spiritual guy, wasn't a priest, but he was talking about how this phenomenon, I guess he called it the Jezebel effect, but if you don't basically get your shit together and get your head on straight, that even no matter how anointed and gifted you are, that somebody else will come over and take over your ministry. Someone, with twice as much anointing and twice as much skill, and like this, God will take care of it. It's not about you. And I thought, oh boy, I may have missed my calling way too long. Some young person will come along. Not that I'm that attached to it, but it's been a couple days of like wake ups like that. So this is good. I feel renewed, ready to.
All right.
Take it to the next place.
All right, for our last 2 minutes, there's two things I want to tell you. Number one is tweet about this. And try to nail down. I don't mean tweet dismissively, because people tweet things, and I'm not saying you do, but this was a big deal, and there is always a temptation to just write some short thing about it and kind of, sort of tell a little sort of halfway thing about what it probably was, and, and it turns out feeling less important, but what you want to do is nail down what happened for you and what you accomplished and what you got out of it, and I'm talking about throughout today and tomorrow and the next day, as you realize more things that happen today and changes that come in, 2 days from now, to tweet about those things. Number one, okay, so this is the kind of thing, if you tweet about these things, they will become rock solid, very real, and tweeting is an accelerator. Okay, so number one. The other thing is, Jen, I want you to test, are impairments and disabilities cofactors in thyroid nodules generally in people?
Yeah. Yes.
And other kinds of organ malfunctions?
Yes.
Are some of those impairments and disabilities centered in the the impairments and disabilities of the organ?
But I lost that last half.
Or Barb, don't type right this second. Are any of those impairments and disabilities their properties of the organ itself? Not mine, but the organs, impairments and disabilities.
I would say yes.
Okay, so one thing that we should understand about our bodies, our bodies are like a coral reef. And all of these things that make up the body, they're also particles like we are. Like that's why your liver becomes your opponent, because it's another particle. And see, you're the like Ober particle of your body, and you're running the body. Like as far as playing tennis and stuff. But as far as its function, the organ is running the liver's running the liver, and if the liver gets mad at you, it will make you mad, and so on. So one of the ways that organs, deal with these impairments and disabilities is to create these malfunctions like growing nodules.
Yes.
Okay, so you've just learned something. And also another thing is there are 2 tweets that I put out today that I had put out before, but I didn't know if you saw them, about curing thyroid nodules. Did you ever see them?
No.
Well, when you go to my Twitter, you'll see them.
Okay.
So I found some good things about. What I did is I tested some basic things about curing thyroid nodules.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you.
All right. Well then, this is. It's been a great time to be with you.
Thanks, Jen.
It has. Thank you. It's always fun.
Hope you didn't miss out being on the hot seat.
No. I got something.
Sorry to hog this hot seat.
Yeah, hogging the hot seat. See you guys later.
Have a good day. See you. Thank you.
You too. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
This movie was given to you by HUM, the World Ministry of IMMUNICS, which enables you to cure medically incurable diseases. We also produce the Cure Drive in the iCollege of IMMUNICS. This is the home page. And as you see here, the movie that starts playing automatically when the page opens is a 3-hour tutorial film, which underneath it is the beginning of a series of movies. If you click on these links, you go to another movie that's a continuation of the tutorial, showing different aspects of the things that people need to get into when they cure things. The movie shows many people curing things. You'll find complete cure tutorials on the home page. Under the group at the top is another, this is a video and text tutorial, and if you click on the link, you'll see it has 10 lessons, and you can click on each lesson and you'll see it that the lessons are movies interspersed with explanations. And if you continue scrolling down the home page, you'll find a huge bank of movies of people curing things. Here's one of someone curing multiple sclerosis that you can click on and these play. Hopefully this one will play in a moment. There it is. So that woman cured PPMS and MS. Here you'll find people from every continent: Europe, the US, Asia, Canada. This woman cured shingles, and in this particular movie that's what she's demonstrating. And at the top of the home page you will find links to the cure meetings that we have every week. 9 p.m. New York time, Rome time 8 p.m. Underneath the cure meetings you'll find a link to Friend Me. It's actually Byard. I'm Byard, speaking to you on Facebook, and you'll meet many people who are my Facebook friends there who have cured various diseases. Many of us have cured herpes, which is what I cured. Also there, if you have trouble getting signals, there is a whole bank of movies that focus on people who are just starting to get their first signals. Many of these people went on to bigger and better things, and you see them in other movies. But these are movies about their signals. how they got their first signals. At the very top of the home page, you will find above the masthead a link to the cure shows. And we documented people curing things on, we did this on the phone. There are shows on about 75 diseases, and the diseases are listed alphabetically, as you can see. You actually hear the people curing these diseases during these shows. That's post-traumatic stress syndrome from 9/11, the catastrophe. We have a show on that, and fever, somebody curing the fever, several people curing fibromyalgia, flu. We had a flu hotline, and there are many people. These people are actually curing flu, and the flu stops. It clears up during the 15 or 20 minutes of the call. It doesn't take long to cure the flu. Over here you have paralysis, parasitic parenting, Parkinson's disease. When you cure something, please join your voice with the voices of the many people who came before you by reporting your cure in our poll, which you can do right above the tally of the cures that people have reported is here at the top. And as you can see, there's a little link here. And if you click on that, you will come to a form that enables you to report your cure. This page is the hub of the Web College. And as you can see, there are detailed lessons on how to remove viruses, cure cancer, end trauma, recode your DNA, reclaim your organs, and other issues that people are interested in, such as the safety web. These are the main lessons of the Web College. And there are also movies here. Here's a movie on the right here of a doctor who actually years ago cured the flu on camera. So you can click on these two and play. He's demonstrating how he's doing it. They filmed him in his office. We've tried to provide you with everything you need here, and I wish you happy curing. Please be in touch with us. Just to say, can I go to the 144th dimension? See if you get a signal on that. Can I go to the 144th dimension?
Can I go to the 144th dimension? Yes? I guess I can.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay, both of you go to the 144th dimension.
I'm taking myself to the 144th dimension.
Me too.
No stopping for gas on the 8th dimension.
Test if you're there.
I'm there.
Me too.
Okay, describe what it's like on the 144th dimension.
I feel clear.
I feel less interested in anything below the 144th dimension.
Can we stay here all the time?
I know, exactly. I don't feel like...
I didn't hear the word you said, Jen, when you said how it felt. You said, I feel...
Clear.
Clear, okay.
Yeah.
Clear.
You can go there and you'll be clear when you're there. Are you clear about anything in particular? And it's okay to say no to that. It's just asking.
Yeah, I feel, well, I mean, this would take a lot of backstory, but there's some decisions that my family's making that I now feel clear about.
Yes, because when you have that perspective from the 144th dimension,
yeah,
you simply don't care about anything as much.
That's exactly it. But I don't care doesn't sound so good.
Well, see, that's right.
That's it. That's really
not in effect.
When people hear we say we don't care, they go, "Oh God, that's sick," you know.
I know. It's a good thing.